Welcome, everybody, to the Thanksgiving special episode of Junk Wax Genius. I hope everybody is able to give thanks, get together with friends, family, loved ones, and have a relaxing day of reflection and gratitude here this year. Here on the channel, we're going to take the day off from work and we're going to focus on ripping some packs. So the cornucopia in front of us today is a bounty that really is thanks to you, the viewers, for subscribing, for liking, for interacting, for helping YouTube understand that this channel is not a huge waste of everyone's time, which in turn leads to more subscribers, which in turn leads to a little bit of revenue so that I can buy stuff like a run of 1987 packs. We're going to do Topps, Donruss, Fleer, and even Sportflicks. Not forgetting about that. We've got some 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, and 96 Stadium Club. And our headliner, there's no turkey on this table. Instead, we've got a rack pack, 1981 Topps, featuring Robin Yount on the front. A little bit of a like roller mark nick taken out of the card. So not necessarily gem condition, but we'll see what else we get in that pack from 1981 Topps. I hope everybody is doing well today. Thank you for spending part of your day with me as I, a grown man, open these old baseball cards and talk about it. We're going to kick it off with our 87 Topps, 17 cards, one stick of gum. Looking for Bo Jackson, Will Clark, Barry Bonds, Barry Larkin, others. No gum on my Thanksgiving table. So sorry, Alvaro Espinoza taking the hit. And what else have we got in this pack? Hey, excellent. Can't do much better than leading off with Don Mattingly. Great card. Very nice. There is an error version somewhere, one of these. No, I'm thinking 90 Topps. Never mind. Jerry Willard, Rick Cerone, Alvin Davis, Kevin Gross, Mitch Webster, Bob Walk, and his leading, just top of the line mustache, Harry Spillman, Jerry Bones, Larry Anderson, Frank White, the John McNamara manager card, All-Star for Wade Boggs, who is very much alive, Don Asse, Dale Mohorsic, and Richard Dotson. Not many more iconic cards out of 87 Topps than that Don Mattingly. Love it. The long sleeves, the batting gloves. Excellent. Let's dig into 87 Donruss. The Roberto Clemente puzzle, our cards, wax paper. Still, these 87 cards, with the exception of Sportflicks, underrated for tamper-proof packaging in 87. Everybody was like, hey, Upper Deck in 1989, what are you doing with tamper-proof wrapping? And Sportflicks from 1986 even was like, hey, guys. All right, there's our puzzle pieces. I say this before, but if you're new to the channel, Donruss used the same pattern, the same template for all of their puzzles, whether that was Donruss, Leaf, etc. So pieces 10, 11, and 12 are fully interchangeable across any other puzzle in the Donruss collection. Try it, you'll like it. We get into the pack with Phil Bradley. Wally Joyner would have gone right into the binder in 1987. Greg Walker, Diamond King. Dan Schatziner and his mustache, Jorge Orta, Jim Dwyer, Bruce Fields, rated rookie, Scott Sanderson, Mark Davis, Eric Bonk, again, leading mustache there, Rafael Belliard, Bud Black, Jody Davis, with a little echo of the Cubs logo there, Joe Hesketh, and Senior Smoke, Juan Berenguer. Juan Bautista Berenguer, 87 Donruss. All right. No Mattingly, no Clark, no Bonds, no McGuire, no Larkin. Let's put our faith into 87 Fleer, 17 cards, one sticker, wax paper. If you know the sequencing, you can shout them out at home and impress your friends, confuse your enemies. The sequencing in these Fleer products is well known. So if you know who's on the top, like Mike Maddox, you know who is likely to follow the rest of the pack. So Mike Maddox, Chet Lemon, Gary Redus, Bob Horner, the Magic Mets, sweet card that would have gone right into the binder back in the day. Look at that, quite a lineup. Tim Lawler, Andy Allenson, Goose Gossage, Dave Schmidt. All right, so I think this is an indicator that we're going to have, Dave Schmidt, Ron Davis, I think Steve Carlton, Scott McGregor, Steve Carlton, okay. And we're going to have some pretty good cards coming up, like Will Clark. And 2 cards behind him should be Barry Bonds. So there's Will, the Thrill, one of my PC guys. Frank Viola, Harry Spillman. There you go, Barry Bonds. Like I said, when you know the sequencing, you see those indicator cards, you can tell with 99.9% certainty who you're going to get. We got Will, we got Barry. Excellent. Pretty good. And let's not gloss over Steve Carlton. Great pack. Always fun to get that run. All right, onto the 87 Sportflicks. 3 superstar cards, but they say 9 Magic Motion player photos. It's 3 cards. Come on. Let's not overhype this. Let's let the magic of the motion do the talking. A super baseball card album for only $10? Seems like a steal in 1987 money. All right, Roger McDowell, who reminds you the ballpark is no place for children. Damaso Garcia, using a portrait really interrupts the magic of the motion. You only get 2 action shots plus just a mug shot. Some trivia tiles or leader tiles. The Mariners and the Phillies. What do we have in the back? Team leaders. Okay. And our last Magic Motion card, the swing, the follow through from Jody Davis. 3 from 87 Sportflicks. I got to give Fleer the win. Mattingly, close runner-up there, but Carlton, Clark, Bonds, hard to beat out of 87 Fleer. All right, we're going to continue on. We're going to save this as you know, the headliner always goes on last. So let's go through Stadium Club in order. I've got 91, Series 1 and Series 2. There were only 2 series in 1991. 12 premium quality cards, and boy, were they just... for what Upper Deck did in '89 for standard card sets, Stadium Club completely reset that bar for premium cards in 1991. Beautiful set, fantastic photography, just a simple layout, no team logo, very desirable cards, hard to find when I was growing up, and when I could find them, they were like $6 a pack in 1991 dollars. Jose Uribe leads off this pack. Look at the back. They feature the Topps rookie cards. I do a feature here on the channel called Cardception, where we look at the back of the card, and when the rookie card pictured on the back is the same as the card front, we call that Cardception, in the nod to the movie Inception. With so many of these, that might be a secondary feature today, just in the interest of time. Don Robinson, Wayne Edwards. Nice landscape layout here for Lance Dixon. There's Brett Saberhagen. Tony Phillips. Tony Phillips here, our second baseman, our defender, not our sliding base runner. Jimmy Key. Steve Balboni. Shout out Columbus Clipper fans across the country. There's Steve Bye-Bye Balboni. Bip Roberts. Leon when he was in trouble. Sean Dunston looking acrobatic. Gorgeous card there for Dwight Smith. In this case, Dwight Smith is our base runner, not our defender. Love that. The Expos Blues, Wrigley Field, and fuzzy focus in the background. Both players kind of looking up at the umpire for the call. That's awesome. And Danny Tartable closes out Series 1. Let's roll into second series of 91 Stadium Club. 12 more cards, same basic design. They showed a lot of restraint in only doing 2 series. We'll talk about why, because when we get into the 92s, we have 3 series to work through. And in my opinion, a little gratuitous, a little much, Topps. All right, let's look at Rudy Tooty John Cerruti warming up there in a, looks like a spring training bullpen. Gene Nelson and his mullet. Sticking a little bit, you're going to have that with these glossy products from the early 90s while the companies were figuring out what worked for gloss. Mike Stanley. Gently pop them apart from channel favorite Kelly Gruber. There's Jerry Bones again, this time as an Expo. Pete Harnish. Jeff Hamilton. Greg Swindell. Dave Island. Juan Samuel. Ivan Calderon. And we end our 91 Stadium Clubs with Tony Pena just having a seat. Again, featuring those rookie cards. 81 Topps. Hey, I know something about 81 Topps. All right, gorgeous cards. Love that. Let's get into the 92s. We'll go through all three series here. Like I said, 3 series of 300 cards apiece for a total of 900 cards in the set. I think 91 Score was also 900 cards, but if you know 91 Score, it is padded out with subsets, all-stars, no-hitters, rifleman, all of those little subsets. These, the only subsets you're going to get are the member's choice. You don't get managers, you don't get all-star cards, very little anything other than just base player cards. And do we need 900 of those? I don't think so. Let's begin with Series 1 from 1992 Topps Stadium Club. Same kind of tamper-proof poly or cellophane type wrapper, and a much more streamlined design for the baseball cards, bordering, I'm going to say, on minimal. You just get the Stadium Club logo and the player name. You don't get, could have used a little detail across the bottom, maybe with the team name or something like that, like Topps ended up doing with their other sports in the Stadium Club series. Wally Backman starts off that pack. Joe Carter with a photo that looks like it could be from the Studio series. Dennis Boyd. Here they're calling him Dennis, not Oil Can. But that's the same guy. Mark Williamson. Jim Vatcher. I mean, you get a lot of this. Just spring training photos of a guy that might not have made the roster. Hal Morris. You know, you just know there was a photographer going around with a checklist of names and knocking them off. Greg Harris. Kevin Morton. There's Moose, Mike Messina. Nice card. Kevin Gross, Todd Hundley, Chris Hoyles, it's our catcher, not the sliding base runner. Brett Butler swinging through, not bunting? That can't possibly be Brett Butler. Scott Bullitt, sweet name, Scott Bullitt, and Luis Mercedes. There's our Series 1. I open a lot of 92 Series 2 because my PC guys, Will Clark and Jim Thome, appear in Series 2. You get Will Clark's base card and his member's choice, plus the Jim Thome, his first Stadium Club card in 92 Series 2. So if you know where your guys are, you know, the way they break them out in the series is helpful because then you can, you know, cast your line where the fish are, so to speak. There's Jeff Carter starting us off. Weird to see a guy wearing number 42 these days. Alex Fernandez. Scott Livingstone. Quite the focus job on that crowd back there. It couldn't be much more distorted. Mike Munoz. Lenny Dykstra. Shout out Nails. Dave Otto. The cards are going this way and that. Pop some Pepto-Bismol. We're going to keep things moving. Eric Gunderson. Greg Gagne dropping a bunt. Nice photo. Real Cormier. These really are just all over the place. John Smiley, channel favorite, John Smiley. Omar Oliveras. Stu Cole. Wes Chamberlain. Mo Vaughn, another fantastic photo. Love that. And Howard Farmer, finish off our Series 2 pack. So not quite cardception here, but look at the background of his 1990 Topps debut card. And what we have going on here. Was it the same day? Same photo from a few minutes apart. All right, and into the 92 Series 3. There are a couple first draft pick of each year card from the 90s hidden away in these. So a little bit of added value potentially in Series 3. We'll see what we can find. Like a Chipper Jones, for example. Jeff Manto. Ruben Amaro. Paul Kilgus. Action-packed shot there for Paul Kilgus. Look at the flow on Denny Nagel. Could be a shampoo spokesman with that hair. Nice card. Nolan Ryan. Fantastic. Rico Rossi. Andy Stankiewicz. Brian Hickerson. Hey, look at the grin on Bry. Gary Sheffield, excellent. Rick Sutcliffe. Torey Lovullo. Roger McDowell again. Mike Gallego. Tom Candiotti. Danny Gladden. And I guess that's it. All right. So there are our 3 packs from 1992 Stadium Club. Series 1, 2, and 3 from 1993 are next. Now, a little bit more restraint here. I think Topps realized they overdid it the previous year. You still have 300 cards, but then in Series 3, only 150 for a total of 750 cards if you're doing the arithmetic. I like buying Series 3 because with half as many cards in the series, your odds are that much better of getting players like, say, Ken Griffey Jr., who we know to be in Series 3. Let's kick off 93 Stadium Club Series 1. Have you subscribed yet? If you're still watching all this time through, hopefully you've got a nice coffee or tea or something a little more potent in your hand while you're home from work, or maybe you're earning time and a half at work, goofing off because business is slow watching this. Please do like, subscribe. It goes a long way, and I appreciate it. Delino DeShields begins 1993 for us. There's Cal Ripken. Excellent. Greg Maddux. Cool. Joe Gray. Got to get the angle just right to read some of this gold foil. Steve Shiflett. And some Stadium Club special cards. Okay. Tim Jones. Jeff Grotwold. Jeff Grotwold. Ken Patterson. I mean, again, just 750 cards is still probably too many. Willie McGee. Johnny Guzman. Lloyd McClendon. We got a member's choice here for Andy Van Slyke. You can see the kind of rainbow or prismatic foil there on the member's choice cards. I've heard of Jeff Jarrett, but Jeff Parrott? I've not heard of that. And Jeff Kent, completely different Jeff. Hall of Fame worthy Jeff Kent. I don't know. Leave a comment. 93 Stadium Club Series 2. There you go. There's an example of a Stadium Club rookie card for Jeff Bagwell. Well, we won't get too far ahead of ourselves. There's Walt Weiss wearing the Marlins teal. And his teammate, Benito Santiago. I think there was a concerted marketing effort for Series 2 to mention that these cards can feature Rockies and Marlins. There's Keith Miller, Mike Williams. More information. Frank Seminara, Rick Aguilera. Here's Bob Walk. Status of his mustache unclear. Ryan Thompson. Tom Gordon. Mike Jackson. Tom Marsh. Anytime you can have your face obscured by your own bat on your baseball card. Nice choice of photo, Tops. Tom Marsh. Joe Slosarski. Tim McIntosh. Love that. And there's Jeff Bagwell. There's the front of his card. You saw that they consider his 91 Topps Stadium Club to be his rookie card. Agree or disagree? We can go into big dissertations about what is and is not a rookie card. I have very liberal definitions, especially compared to what some people might be still holding on to from Dr. James Beckett back in the 80s when there were like 4 card sets every year. And it was a lot easier to nail down what a rookie card was. All right, we get into Series 3. There's Dave Justice, nice card. Moody Lighting. Tony Tarasco. Behind him is Braves teammate Tom Glavine. Excellent. Braves Hot Pack. Steve Howe. Doug Drabeck. Oh, this is cool. Charlie Huff. Multiple exposure card there for Charlie Huff. Florida Marlins firsts. Okay, I failed to mention this as a potential insert. Now you know. All of the firsts in Marlins history. There's Dave Stewart. Willie Green. With the Reds, green on red, Rene Arocha, Jody Reed. There's Billy Ripken. No bat knob in sight. Russ Springer, Tom Brunansky, Spike Owen, and we wrap up the 93s with the Hawk, Andre Dawson. That's cool. All right, there are the 93